Welcome back everyone. In the previous video, we discussed about the introduction to the lesson motion. In this video, we will start describing motion. To start describing motion, we will have to talk about the location of an object. First, we will have to specify to a reference point. To understand this idea, let us take an example. Let us assume there is a school in a village. Now next question will be, where is this school? To locate the school, you will have to take a reference point. In this case, I am taking the railway station. So we can talk like this. The school is about 2 kilometers to the north of the railway station. Here railway station becomes the reference point and we call this reference point as an origin. Now let's take one more example. If in the same village, if you ask, where is the panchayat? Where do people gather in the panchayat? We can say, for example, the panchayat gathers 3 kilometers to the west of the railway station. Again, here railway station is the origin. So, the location of the school, the panchayat and other places, we explain it with reference to a single point, that is the railway station. Hence, the railway station will be called as the origin. Let us consider the motion of an object along a straight line. Here we have drawn a line, almost like a number line it looks. We have graded it according to kilometers. Now let us assume an object starts from the origin O here. O will be our reference point from where the object starts to move. So the arrow here indicates the direction of motion. So the object has moved from O to A. So the total distance traveled by the object will be 60. This actual path covered by the object, we will call it as distance traveled. So distance traveled is a new quantity we are learning. What is it? It is the actual path or total distance covered by the object, which is 60 kilometers in this case. However, there is one more physical quantity we have to discuss that will tell us the distance between the starting point and the ending point. We call it initial and final. The total distance or the shortest distance between the initial and final point will be called as displacement. In this case, displacement is also 60 kilometers because the distance between initial and final point is the same as the total path traveled by the object. Let us take another example. In this case, the object starts at O and goes to A and then reverses its direction and moves to B. This time, the object has traveled the total of 60 kilometers from O to A plus 25 kilometers from A to B. The total distance being 85 kilometers. This is the distance traveled. However, if we look at the distance between or the shortest distance between initial and final position, we will see the distance between O and B, which is equal to 35 kilometers. So this will be called as the displacement. So here distance traveled is total 85 kilometers. Displacement, however, is the shortest distance between starting point and ending point, which is 35 kilometers. Let us consider one more example. In this case, let the object move from O to A, from A to C through B. The arrow indicates first the initial direction, then a change of direction. So the total path will be 60 km plus 35 km. That is from O to A 60, A to C. We will neglect the point B, though it is coming through B. We are neglecting. Or else one more option is there. We can say O to A 60 plus A to B, which is 25, plus then B to C, which is 10. So again, if you add up, you will get the same answer. So the total distance traveled will be 95 kilometers. And let us have a look at, I'll just highlight this so that you can come to know the total distance how we take up. See, this will be the total distance of the initial stride, that is 60. And next, when it reverses and travels here, It travels from 60 to 25. That is totally a 35-kilometer ride. So the total ride is going to be 60 plus 35, which is 95 kilometers. And next, coming to the displacement, however, it will be the direct distance between this initial point, what we see here, and the final point here, which I have highlighted here. So between these 2 points, the direct distance being 25 kilometers, this will be called as the displacement, because it is the shortest distance between O and C. O being the initial point, C being the final point. So we now came to see what is the difference between distance traveled and displacement. See, distance traveled 95 kilometers. However, another case is when the object travels from the origin to a point A and reverses back from A to O. In this case, if we discuss about the distance traveled, the body has covered 60 kilometer in one direction, again 60 kilometer in another direction. So let us have a look at that. So it is from O to A 60 kilometer and back 60 to 0. That is again 60 kilometer. So total distance traveled by the object will remain 120 kilometers. So if we consider the initial point here, that is O, this is the initial point, and the final point is also O, because the object started at O and ended at O. So what is the difference or the distance between initial and final point? The shortest distance is 0, because the object, apparently we are able to see it where it was earlier in this initially. So now if we talk about displacement, we can say that the object starts from where the object starts from O, reaches a point A, then travels back to A through this point B and C, but the total distance between initial and final point, the shortest one, is going to be 0. So this is a peculiar case where total distance traveled is 120. However, total displacement is 0.